Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the series of me giving you advice on how to buy your first car in Australia. So in the last video, I told you about the various fees and things that you need to look for while buying your first car. And in this video, I have got two of my friends telling their experience on what they looked for when they were buying their cars and what things went right, what things went wrong. Some of the experience was really funny because there were some mess up made either by them or in some cases by me as well. So it's going to be a really interesting video. It's going to be a really informative as well. So stay tuned and hope you like the video. Okay, so Bhumika, first question, like what made you buy a car in Australia?
So I'm working and I wanted to commute to my workplace. And then second thing is the public transportation is not very good in Australia.
Yep,
So it is a requirement for probably for everyone.
makes sense.
Yeah, so it does get challenging just commuting by the trains, and then there's always track walk, which
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
like
yeah.
commute 1 hour, like
Track
5
work,
hours some
guys,
days.
I'll tell you, it's not
Yeah,
really great. Okay.
yeah, that's the thing. And also I love traveling,
Yeah.
so I needed a car. To be
Okay.
honest.
So when you were looking for a car, what was your budget like?
So my budget was like between 5K to 6K.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's generally the budget that you look for your first car,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it was a pretty decent budget, to be honest. Okay, so when you so how many cars did you look at before buying this car?
Okay. This was my first one.
Okay, so you saw this car, you liked it, and you bought it. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, because I was working full time. I had no time to go for inspection or anything,
Makes
and
sense.
I did not go to my friends. I was like, okay, I'm pretty confident. I just go and I will just buy.
Okay, no worries. That also happens. Okay, so now the next question is that what has your experience been like? Oh, first before that, how much did you buy this car for?
I got it for 5K.
5,000. Okay. So now let's get started with the fun part. So what has gone wrong? Like what was your experience after you bought it, and what things went wrong?
I think the right question would be, what is the right thing with this car? The first thing I did wrong, to be honest, was I didn't take any suggestion. I didn't take any advice. I just went and bought it, and I didn't even know much about the cars. Like, what is the mileage? You need to check the mileage, and then there's the service history, and just in general, even with my car, the mileage was it was rolled back. So for me, it
Roll
was
back,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that was the one of the main issues. And then with the just even with the servicing of the car, like when I took it to the mechanic and he can just looked at it and said, oh, it was not a good purchase for you. It was definitely a bad
Yeah.
decision. Yeah, and then with the battery, like I just drove it like for 1 month or so, and I started feeling like the ignition was taking longer to
Okay.
get it
So the battery
started.
needed to be replaced.
Yeah, and then I was traveling, I was away, I didn't use my car, and it was just standing. And then
It
after
stopped.
a week, it stopped, it didn't
It
start.
stopped
I
again.
had to
The
use
battery
the
died.
yeah, the battery died. Yeah, but yeah,
So
so for me, it was an extra cost.
yeah, the battery was an extra cost. The car needed maintenance. You didn't have this car didn't have a logbook as well,
Oh
right?
no, it didn't.
Did have a logbook. And what about the registration?
You were not supposed to bring it to this. Oh, okay, okay. What about the registration? So I'm very smart. I forgot that we need to transfer. We need to transfer the registration. So yeah, I didn't, and then I ended up paying the extra charges for the late fee.
So my friend here
Yeah.
got the car in
I'm too
December,
smart.
and now it's May. She got the car transferred
No, you.
15 days back, and she had to pay $100 extra for late transfer. And so on an average, because we had a word, so I can let it out. So she got the car for 5,000. The transfer was about 200, 300.
200.
200 was the transfer. The registration with green slip and pink slip for 6 months, which happened right now was close to $600, and the battery and service was again $400, $300.
Yeah, $300.
So on an average, this car in 5 months she has spent close to $1,200, right? Which is not that bad, to be honest. But the only thing problem with this car, which I told her, because we were trying to sell this car and things, that the kilometers were rolled back. So if that wasn't the case, then this car is not a really bad buy. But because it's a Corolla, Corollas go forever, and Toyotas are very, very reliable. So this car has been good, reliability wise, and would be good as well if maintained well. But the seller wasn't very honest while selling the car. So you have to
Yeah.
look at those things.
Absolutely. Yeah,
when
there
you
are
buy.
some people who are just there, like trying to,
Scam and
yeah.
just let go of their cars. So that's it. So thank you, Bhumika. Thank you for your time. So this is Ekagrita, my friend, and in the first part of the video you saw Bhumika, who was also my friend, and her experience of buying her car. And in the background it's Ekagrita's car. It's called Smurf. I call her Smurf because it's blue.
I call her Nemo, by the way.
She calls her Nemo. I call her Surf. So she is a water baby kind of a thing. But
So are you?
yes, I am too. And so Ekagrita has had this car for a while now. I think
2 years approximately.
2 years. I thought
one
it was
and a half.
one and a half years.
Yeah, technically.
And so we'll go through her experience of what made her buy a car and everything. So I'll start with asking that what made you buy a car? Like, why did you want to get a car here in Australia?
Yep. So when I was new to Australia, of course, car was not in my radar because of obviously financial constraints. But then I was living at a house and then I had to switch. And after COVID, there was like a lot of housing crisis and we got a house that was a bit further away in Russellville.
Yeah.
So I had to commute back and forth from
Yeah.
uni, work, etc. So then I thought of buying the car.
Yeah, I remember she has changed like 3-4 houses. And whenever we used to meet, she initially as a student she didn't have a car, but then she moved far away. So that was one of the major reasons.
Right, right.
Yeah. So when you were looking for a car, what was your budget like?
So my budget was 5 to 7K. Although it didn't happen that way, I had to push my budget a bit. But yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like in the price range that everybody buys their first car in, that is 5 to 7. Let's start with the stories that went behind. So so do you remember, Ekagrita, how many cars we saw when we were looking?
Yeah. So I think this was our third inspection.
Yeah, third inspection.
In the first inspection, we actually had a look at a car, Getz, I guess. Was it Getz? Yeah.
It was a Hyundai Getz, yes.
Yeah, it was Hyundai Getz.
It was Indian car.
Yeah, the guy was Indian and our guy actually was trying to he started like the car and he just dashed it in front because it was actually,
why did I come to you, man? Why did I come to you?
He actually parked on a slope, okay, and then he literally was talking on the phone side by side, okay, the swagger. And then he realized that the gear system was a bit different and the reverse was actually not reverse but was drive. And a split second and he just smashed it onto the other car.
So it was not that big of a bang. But I'll tell you what happened. The thing was that, the car was on a slope. And it was like this, and I started the car. Car started. Instead of putting it in drive, it went to neutral, and it just sloped away to the next car, which was again a Getz. So on a test drive, I hit another car. That's
and
what
then
happened.
The best part was the guy was so pissed. He was like, he started talking in Hindi, okay? He was like, you get out, pick up the part and throw it in the dustbin. Dax ran under the car. He got the part.
Oh my God.
Actually threw it in the dustbin and we just ran off like crazy. And nothing happened after that, right?
We went for a proper test drive.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and then obviously we didn't buy that car because ab shagun ho gaya tha.
Yeah, it was like a big...
We didn't have to. Then the second car, that's my story now.
Oh my God, here we go.
So second car she was at our place when we were living at student accommodation, Coolabong, and this guy messaged. He came down at Coolabong, and he was a Chinese guy, and he had a small car, Mazda 2. And Madam Ekagrita sat in the car. She just was taking a right turn on. It was a one lane. It was a merge. It was a one lane kind of a situation. And then she didn't see there was a car coming from behind. She was going to now hit a car. She didn't.
But I didn't, guys. I didn't. Okay, he did.
I did, but she didn't. But the Chinese guy was, oh my God, what are you doing? He just shouted and he was all over the place. And,
but in my defense, guys, I was new to Australia, okay? I didn't know the right reference rulings and stuff like that. But
she was buying a car. She didn't know the rules.
So what? I had Dax to teach me, I was relying on him.
So that happened, and but that car was also a pretty average car.
And it had a tow bar
It
in
has a
the
tow
end,
bar,
and he
and
was asking for extra money for that
for the
tow
tow
bar.
bar apparently.
And that wasn't fair
In
at all.
Mazda 2, a small hatchback, there was a tow bar, and he was really proud of it.
For
And
some reason.
for some reason, and the car was also in a very bad condition.
Yeah.
So we didn't go with that car. And now then came Nemo or Smurf. This car was in Albion Park, a bit
Yeah.
far from where we live.
Yeah.
And
10 to 15 minutes
yeah,
drive.
so I was going somewhere. She was with me, and
Auntie was also there.
my mom
His
was
mom.
also here. She was here on a visit, and she saw the car. She saw the car. We all saw the car. We liked it on the first go. It was, they were asking about 9,000,
Yeah.
close
they
to
were.
9,000, and it was obviously over our budget and everything. So we saw the car. We drove it. I told her it's a really good spec. It's a really good color. Everything, you can get it. All the boxes were ticked. And but first,
Budget was the
budget
issue.
was the only issue.
You're poor guys.
Yeah, we are obviously students.
As
As students,
for,
we
yeah.
thought about budget and things. So we left the place, and then Ekagrita called me. She was like, "What should I do?"
No, actually, we sat in his car, and
Yeah.
Auntie, him, and I were having a discussion about the car. And Auntie was like, "Beta, I'm having a really good feeling with this one. Okay, just go for it. Just
Yeah.
buy it. Start negotiating."
Yeah.
Then we negotiated, and I think we bought it in around 7,800.
Yeah, something
Around
those.
that.
It was a bit above, but then the car was nice. It is a SP25, so which is a bigger engine and a more reliable fun drive. It has
Yeah.
paddle shifters and a lot of things. So
Yep.
good car for the price. And it had logbooks. We checked everything. There were about a couple of
The
owners.
NSW report as well.
NSW report as well,
Right.
and everything was fine with the car. Obviously, we drove it. Have you had any major mechanical issues with the car?
No, not really. Not
Yeah.
really. Till now.
But
Touch wood.
then, yeah, but then we also discovered some things which we couldn't check on the test drive, like the side window.
No, the side mirror was okay. So there is this side mirror, and the cover outside is just missing. That was missing at that point of time as well.
But
But we missed out the window.
Window didn't go down.
Yeah,
We
right.
discovered that later.
Later.
Because we forgot. We were so excited to see the car and drive it that we forgot to check the
So
window.
guys, the passenger
Yeah.
princess is no longer princess.
Yeah,
You can't
so
actually. Yeah.
yes, so 2 years she has had this car. How has, like, you got it transferred right away,
Yeah.
and then
Easy. Just had to go to service NSW office. It's right 5 minutes away, and just had to do a retro transfer. It was pretty easy. Yeah.
yeah. And what about, like, how many services have you had on this?
Till now I've had 3 services, 6 months gap.
Yeah.
Or kilometers, whatever.
So, and about 150,
Yeah, the service is about 100 to 150.
100 to 150. So pretty decent price, because as I have told before in my videos, that Mazda is a pretty reliable brand, and the service and everything is super cheap. Not super cheap, but decently priced.
If you're able to find the right mechanic.
Right mechanic.
Yes.
Obviously, there are a lot of mechanics. Some charge for the same service $300, $400
Of
as
course
well.
they
But
do.
as Indians, we do jugaad, and we find the right people to do the
That's in
right
our blood.
service. Yes, that is in our blood. So we save money where we can. But yes, getting a car service, because there's a lot of highway driving and everything. So
Correct.
that is very important as well.
Yeah.
So
I've taken this car to Sydney a lot of times as well.
Yeah.
It's been
staying in Wollongong, we have to travel to Sydney a lot
A
of
lot,
times. That is about 150 kilometers one side, 100 kilometers minimum. So obviously we need something reliable. So it depends on situation to situation, where you are placed and what kind of a car you need, what purpose you need. So all those things. But thank you so much, Ekagrita, for your time. And
Thanks, Dash.
yes, this car is her prized possession. And yeah, keep on watching, guys.
Bye-bye.
So guys, this was my friends telling you their experience of buying their first cars in Australia, and hope you liked it. And yeah, so keep on watching and keep coming back.